government is serious about development in the agri-sector and is poised to elevate the sugar sector as a major pillar in the economy. This year, $4 billion has been allocated to the Guyana Sugar Corporation, 𝐘𝐄𝐀, to continue expanding. The Rose Hall Sugar Estate is making a grand comeback in 2023 with the $1.2 billion dedicated by government towards its reopening in the second crop of this year. A sum of $287 million went to advance works at the Blairmont factory, with $200 million budgeted to expand the packaging plant's operation. A total of $56 million is being injected to enhance the iFlood estate. Since returning to office, the PPPC administration invested over $10 billion in plants and equipment, rehabilitated cane fields, and fostered private sector partnerships to expand lands under cultivation.
We remain, sir, committed to increasing production and productivity through expansion in acreage and use of technology, diversifying into new crops and varieties, promoting high value and value-added production and crops, including through agro-processing, and easing the access for farmers and consumers to markets, both domestic and export.
Guyana's coconut industry is improving through decentralization and introduction of high-yielding and disease-resistant varieties. To tap into the US $30 billion industry by 2026, a new coconut variety will be introduced to farmers in regions 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Government has so far established coconut nurseries in Charity, Kairuni, Wakenham, Leguan, Canal No. 2, Corentyne, Hosororo, Fort Wellington, and Letham. Rice has always been a leader in Guyana's gross domestic product. With government continuing to secure markets, the industry's growth is unmatched. Together with the brilliance of research scientists, Guyana will soon roll out a flood-resistant variety.
This year, we will be investing over $300 million to promote production and productivity in rice. This will go towards research and development to further improve yields and identify and implement alternatives to insecticides to control paddy bug. We will construct 2 new drying floors in regions 3 and 5, and we will introduce new biofortified rice varieties.
Climate change is a global phenomenon. To preserve the local agricultural sector, government had launched the Agriculture and Innovation Entrepreneurship Program, known as the Shade House Project. This climate-smart agricultural practice ensures there is high-value crops readily available. It also creates employment for a number of youths. The aim is to engage a further 100 new, young agricultural entrepreneurs and increasing the production of these high-value crops by 50%. The growth of the fisheries and aquaculture sector has been exponential, with brackish water shrimp leading the way. The production of this craved species expanded by more than 450%. Government has since rewarded this sector with a mammoth $349 million to expand brackish water shrimp farms.
Government's efforts to transform the aquaculture industry, inclusive of the construction of over 60 ponds in 2021, have resulted in growth in the overall productive capacity of shrimp ponds and 454.1% growth in the production of brackish water shrimp, with production totaling 621,000 kilograms in 2022.
A whopping $19.7 billion is being invested to construct new drainage systems in several communities as part of efforts to counter flooding during heavy rainfall. So far, a number of drainage pumps and sluices have been replaced and fixed to minimize flooding on the coast, which is below sea level. The long-term strategy to resolve flooding in regions 3, 5, and 6 is to construct replicas of the Hope Canal drainage system, a key structure that helps with drainage on the east coast of Demerara. Already, work commenced on the designs and studies. Guyana's corn and soybean production have been on the rise and is key to self-sufficiency by government's timeline of 2025. Aiding its success, government pumped $150 million in the construction of a wharf in 𝐘𝐄𝐀 to provide critical riverine access to the area under cultivation. The success of this project has been shown with higher yields. As part of its aggressive efforts to reduce the dependency on the importation of hatching eggs, government will be investing in a broiler breeding facility this year. The country currently imports approximately 52 million eggs annually at a cost of some $350 million.
We are now looking at a project that would enable us to produce our hatching eggs all here in Guyana, locally. Right now, we import between 48 to 52 million eggs annually. Hatching eggs, between 48 to 52 million hatching eggs annually. Worth close to between 336 million to 350 million Guyana dollars. That is a low-hanging fruit. That is a market we can capture.
To support the hatch and eggs industry, he stated that communities along the Suzdalk-Linden Highway will be integral to the massive project. The flourishing black-belly sheep project is progressing as a result of the PPPC government's aggressive efforts. The project is ensuring Region 5 becomes the livestock capital of the Caribbean, creating employment opportunities while ranking in major foreign currency.
By the third quarter, I think everything should be in place. We should activate the process in terms of getting the farmers in to start the process, and they will receive their quota so that we could start the brand that we want to create. So that initiative is moving in place.
The first shipment of 132 sheep arrived in Guyana in August 2022. Another lucrative project launched by the government is the Cut Rose Project, which is now producing 800 roses weekly. It is also creating employment and income for single parents.
Apart from being directly involved in the production aspect, whether they are doing it on their own or with us directly, a lot of them have been coming to us, buying this as a raw material and putting it in an end product and sell it to the market that they cater for, because they are into the local florist business and those other aspects. Also, there are smallholders out there who might want to start now. They can also approach us and we give them guidance in terms of technical advice, how to go about starting this venture, and all of those kind of information we will have as we roll out and go forward on how to better their production by learning from what we are now putting into place in terms of research, production, all of that component put together.
Hinterland residents have never been left out of the development from a PPPC government. Continuing this trend, government is ensuring their agriculture expands, pumping millions into these communities. $10 million to construct fishing enterprises, $13 million for cattle rearing and livestock, $18 million for meat centers, and $20 million for shade houses. These have ensured the hinterland contributes to Guyana's food security. Government is fulfilling its mandate to ensure CARICOM achieves its 25 by 25 goal, whilst making Guyana food secured.